Here again with another Shameless Season 8 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important if you aren't caught up to the point where I am at rewatching or watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you found out you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And for all of you out there that are wondering, I've seen Shameless at least one time all the way through. There are some episodes I've seen multiple times, but just rewatching the show because I wanted to talk about it. Because for the most part, this show is really, really good. Towards the end, I know the quality drops quite a bit, but you have at least 7 really good seasons out of 11. And season 8 so far has started a little bit lackluster, but not terrible. But I know the final 2 seasons of this show are absolutely absolutely terrible. So join me on the journey of rewatching this show and discussing it in the comments section. With all that in mind, this will be Shameless Season 8, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called Where's My Meth? And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watch the episode. Thank God for the new tenants. Nessa and one other person are the only ones who aren't late with rent for Fiona. Smells good. Ian likes Corporal Carl in the kitchen, and Lip says it doesn't taste half bad either. Frank asks Lip about what someone would wear to a job interview, and Frank tells them you're about to witness the rebirth of a proactive member of society. So Frank is completely pulled a 180. He's like trying to do good and not doing drugs and alcohol. We'll see how long it lasts. Ian gives his meth to Carl, and then he wants it back because it's the last thing that Monica gave to him. Fiona goes to see the woman with all the kids that's late with rent. Her name is Crystal. She'll work tonight and try to get her something tomorrow. She tells another person she's going to need the rent by tomorrow. An old lady doesn't open the door and pretends to be a dog and starts barking. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Interesting. Frank has a job interview, and Frank tells the person interviewing him he's ready to be an outstanding citizen. And then Frank's speech, because he doesn't really have any qualifications in his work history, what he has is like a day or two for some things, touches the man, and then he kind of goes over his story about how he came to be. And this man believes in second chances and wants Frank on his team. V's worried about Kev's potential cancer, and then Kev goes to a group cancer meeting, and he gets a group hug from all the cancer people. Ian tells Trevor that he got kind of sad about Monica, especially with giving her the last thing that she wanted to give to them away to Carl. Frank wants to open a checking account. He has to give the person at the bank a lifesaver, and then he'll get Frank some temporary checks. So Frank didn't have this, didn't have that, didn't have this, but he had a lifesaver, and that's what got him his checking account. And he also picks up a cell phone. Lip runs due to wanting to drink. Neil is upset that he barely sees Debbie anymore, and it's more of like a hi, bye, gives him a bunch of orders and then leaves, but doesn't sit and talk and doesn't help him do things. He says he's her boyfriend, not her babysitter. Brad shows Lip his ultrasound photo. Brad tells Lip to stay out of Sierra's business. Liam goes to a friend's house from private school. And this kid at the private school that's friends with Liam, he's so privileged and has everything, has his own bathroom, and they live in a mansion, 7 bathrooms. And the fact that this kid has his own bathroom is ridiculous. Ian and Trevor go out. Kev wants to imprint his face into Tommy's memory. Debbie gets another compliment about her hair from I forgot the guy's name that's complimented her. It's in this review. I just didn't put it at this part, but I'll tell you in a minute here. Frank, like I mentioned, he gets a cell phone, and they can't believe that he has a cell phone. Ian gets a blowjob from a really heavy-set guy while Trevor is banging somebody else, and Ian starts to cry, and while the big guy and him are cuddling. Debbie ignores Neil again. He notices a hickey on Debbie's neck. Fiona gets into the hot tub with Ian. Fiona wants to know what's going on. And then Fiona is actually surprised that Ian's upset about the fact that Monica has died. Fiona thinks Ian's a freak because he cried in a fat dude's arms. Liam's friend Dylan, that's his friend's name, is surprised by all the police activity at Liam's neighborhood and his nanny. Carl's moved Ian's meth. Unfortunately, Ian won't have that to memory or that to remember Monica by. He'll just have to remember the fact that it was gonna be given to him by her. Liam tells everybody that Dylan's place has 7 bathrooms. Frank suggests to dangle a carrot in front of Charlie as he was an addict and he'll go off the rail. Lip thinks that's not a bad idea, and Ian can't believe that Lip is listening to Frank. Frank is off to his first day at work. Liam, Lip, Ian, and Carl look kind of stunned, like, huh? And Lip wonders how long it will be before Frank comes home without another intentional broken arm or another random injury to collect some sort of disability. Frank lectures his coworkers on proper work, and he's really taking this seriously, like taking notes while everybody else is just playing with their phone during these like first day videos that they show you. Fiona goes to collect rent from the dog barking person, Mrs. Cardinal. She pretends to be a dog again. The lady with all the kids runs off without paying Fiona. Like, she runs off like the Gallaghers usually run off. Nessa says, evict her ass, no pay, no stay. The drug addicts that live in there as well, they actually leave a check for Fiona. So even though they got stuff going on, they're going to be responsible and pay their rent. Kev's about to have surgery. Ian was getting a tattoo in memory of Monica, but the tattoo artist thought it was for his girlfriend, as he put titties on the tattoo. Kev wakes up from surgery, and V asks the nurse if Kev has cancer. The nurse says she'll get the doctor as she's not qualified to discuss what needs to be discussed. Kev wants a Boyz II Men song played every year on the anniversary and time of his death. The doctor comes in and says it's benign. It's a benign tumor, which is not cancerous. Thank the Lord. V's happy. Kev's happy. Dylan thinks it's cool that nobody is picking them up from school. They're just going to walk to the Gallagher house. Debbie takes Franny to Celia's house. So Neil doesn't have to essentially be a babysitter anymore. And as long as Celia doesn't try to keep Franny, that's a good arrangement. It is, Derek's mom's, she's the grandma, and that might work out. As Neil had pretended to fall out of his wheelchair just to get Debbie's attention. Frank's really, really taking this job seriously and telling the other guys to lift with their legs to avoid injury and going on disability. Back at the alibi, drinks around the house. Well, at least one drink, because Kev doesn't have cancer. Debbie complains to Duran, that's his name, Duran, about her paraplegic boyfriend. Carl suggests, Carl tells Ian about Monica's storage unit, which really, of course, piques Ian's interest. Debbie gets her hair washed by Duran. It's almost like she's having an orgasm during it. Fiona talks to Crystal. No more ditching her. Crystal writes her a check for 1 cent, and Fiona says, fuck you. And Frank's making sure he's doing safety first. Charlie is at Lip's AA meeting. Charlie says during the meeting he didn't do the cocaine. I guess I forgot to mention that Lip had a pizza ordered to Charlie's place with I don't know if it was a dime bag or a little bag of something in there, of cocaine. And he says that, of course, he didn't do it. It's not even something he ordered. Dylan's mom picks up Dylan at the Gallagher house, and she actually has him take his clothes off before getting into the vehicle and puts the clothes into the trash. Lip goes into Charlie's place through the window. He dumps out the cocaine that was still on top of the pizza in the sink. And then Charlie's dog attacks Lip, and I actually put attacks Frank. Wow, sometimes I just am zoned out doing these reviews of typing things. Frank's boss pulls him into his office and asks Frank about a management position. Frank is made the garden department supervisor, and Frank thanks his boss. Carl takes Ian to Monica's storage unit. There's a random guy in Monica's storage unit. It was his meth that Monica had. Lip tells Brad about flushing the cocaine and getting attacked by Charlie's dog. And then Lip tells Brad that he screwed up. And then Charlie comes by the table with Lip's fidget spinner. You were in my house? And he knows it was his. And he actually thanks Lip because he thinks he was just testing him. And he says he owes him big time and he appreciates him. And then he hugs Lip. Brad is obviously confused. And Debbie uses her welding equipment to take down Crystal's steel door, and then Fiona says, I tried to be nice. I tried to make a deal with you. Fucked with the wrong girl. She puts an eviction notice on her door and says you have 24 hours to leave, otherwise she'll call the marshal. Nessa tells Fiona, nice sack. And Mel says to Nessa, are we doing this? And she's got like something for them to play with each other with. And then time for Nessa to go. Fiona knocks on Mrs. Cardinal's door and says she's coming for her next. And then she barks again. Wow, crazy people. Lip brings a plant into the guy's bedroom. Carl says, you two are getting fucking soft on me. As Ian is looking at his titty tattoo in the mirror to end the episode. So, okay episode. I'm starting to feel a drop off, but it's not a big drop off. But instead of a high 8, this is a low 8. I'm going to give this episode an 8.3 out of 10. My characters of the episode, I have to give it to Frank, because Frank is like completely changed from what we've seen in the past. And then I'm going to give the female character of the episode to Fiona, as she was really good. Although Kev was good in this episode, Liv was a lot of good performances. Just, I'm starting to feel a little dip, just a little bit. So you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless and you want to help me out, and also help out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button. Share this video with a friend that you know that likes Shameless. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms that you prefer. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Shameless. What would you rate this episode? I gave it an 8.3. What do you think? Who would be your male? Who would be your female character in the episode? Or if you just want to do one, also, click right here for my Shameless series finale rant video, assuming that you've seen every single episode of the show Shameless. So if you've seen them all, check out that video. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.